Greyhound Urinary Tract Infection, Accidents, ByeBye UTI 7Day Bootcamp Day6. If your Greyhound has just left a UTI-induced puddle on your floor or your couch, you may be experiencing a range of feelings. When your Greyhound has a UTI, he can make a puddle on your floor that's tricky to remove. That concentrated urine has a high level of bacteria, a high pH, often contains blood, and has a distinctive stressed dog smell to it, which could invite him or your other pets to make further messes there. So stick around for a quick primer on how to get that mess cleaned up and disinfected on Day 6 of the ByeBye UTI 7Day Bootcamp. Better living with your Greyhound doesn't have to cost a paw and a leg. Greyhound Homecare is here to show you how, so apply your snoot to that subscribe button and tap the bell. Here's a quick overview of the steps for cleaning up those nasty UTI stains. Don't wait, mark the area, blot with paper towels, spray with cleaner, remove the stain, and spray with Lysol or other disinfectant. Number 1. Don't wait. The first and most important thing to do after your dog has had an accident on the floor is to drop everything and begin cleaning immediately. The less time it has to soak in, the better chance you have of salvaging your floor and your furnishings. Number 2. Mark the area. Use masking tape to mark the perimeter of the stain or stains. I know this seems like an odd thing to do at first, but as you start to remove the stain, it's really easy to lose track of exactly where it was, and you can end up painstakingly cleaning a much larger area. 3. Blot with paper towels. Grab the entire roll and get to work. Stepping on layers of paper towels works very well. Tread carefully though, there's a fine line between blotting it up and grinding it in. Be sure you don't miss any splatters or spots. As the towels begin to come up clean, you can step harder, increasing pressure until you're sure you've gotten it all. A roll of these heavy-duty paper towels, known as shop towels, are great to have tucked away for just such an emergency. I recommend strongly against using any kind of reusable, washable cloth. You're not dealing with ordinary urine here. Remember, your dog has a UTI because his system has been overloaded with bacteria, yeast, or virus. Not exactly the kind of thing you want swirling around the washer with your hand towels or your dainty garments. Through the natural course of life with our pets, we're exposed to plenty of germs, which is actually the key to building our healthy immune systems. But it's important to use discretion too. If you insist on washable cloths, first, soak them in a bucket with plenty of soapy water or disinfectant cleaner. Rinse well and place into your washer. Flush that disinfectant water that you used for the soaking or dispose it outside. Then, run your washer using a laundry sanitizer and a strong detergent. Number 4. Spray with cleaner. Even if you're going to use a rug shampooer, spray the spot with the cleaner. It'll get to work breaking up the stain and making it easier to remove. Stay right here for our easy how-to on making your own gentle natural cleaner for just pennies. But there are many excellent stain removers on the market, including pet-friendly natural ones. You might choose an enzymatic spray, as those break down the scent compounds in the urine so that they turn into gases which will dissipate into the air. Do not use baking soda. Although I can't argue with its deodorizing qualities, it tends to leave a white residue behind and can seriously clog up your vacuum cleaner or your rug shampooer. There are other ways to deodorize your carpet, which we'll be getting into here. Here's how to make the gentle cleaner that I now use every day all over my house. I learned how to make this as a pet stain cleaner, and I liked it so much that I'm now never without it. In addition to being the best thing I found for removing pet stains from rugs and laundry, it has the bonus of not giving me a headache when I use it, like chemical-based cleaners usually do. What's really in a good cleaner, and can we replicate this at home? Well, let's see. You'll want a soap to break up the stain. Hands down, the best cleaning soap is Dawn Original Formula Dish Detergent. White vinegar will help neutralize the stain. Peroxide has a bubbling action that will oxidize the urine and help bring it to the surface. Essential oils are, well, essential. It looks like a small bottle for the money, but they're not expensive when you consider that essential oil is measured out by drops. Different oils have different functions. For cleaning UTI stains, we're going to use orange to further break up the stain and rosemary to neutralize the odor. Coming up, we're going to make a formula for your rug shampooer too, which will contain lavender, a natural sanitizer, and peppermint, which will freshen your carpet and discourage your dog from returning to the scene of the crime. First, put 2½ cups of water into a clean 1-quart spray bottle. Then, add the following: 1 tablespoon of Dawn, 1 tablespoon of peroxide, and 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Then add a few drops each of orange essential oil and rosemary essential oil. Using a cup, top off the bottle with water. If you try to top it off by running it under the faucet, it's going to foam up, and those essential oils that you just added could end up down the drain. Screw on the spray head top and you're ready to clean. Because there's peroxide in this spray, test it on a remote corner of your rug. Peroxide will fade some fibers. The peroxide in this cleaner, though, is so diluted that it's never faded any of my rugs. It did, however, fade the black paw print pattern on a flannel sheet once when I used it as a laundry pre-treatment. I did think once that it faded an old rug that my dog had trashed, but to be honest, I think it just super cleaned that one spot and highlighted how far gone the rest of the rug was. Getting back to that nasty UTI stain, spray it carefully with your cleaner. You want to use just the right amount here, enough to treat the stain, but not so much that you're spreading the mess outward and down through the pad and the flooring. Give the spray about 10 minutes to work while you gather what you need for the next step. Number 5. Remove the stain. This is the hardest and most time-consuming part. If you're going to have both pets and rugs, buy a carpet cleaning machine. Really, do yourself a favor. These machines work this way. They wet down the spot with your choice of cleaner. The cleaner dissolves your carpet stain, and the powerful suction of the machine vacuums the mess into a holding tank. Afterwards, you just empty the tank, and I like to take the whole thing outside and spray it clean with the garden hose. Are you scratching your head because I just told you need to clean your cleaner? Well, your machine won't last long if it's not cleaned thoroughly right after each use, because the mess just dries on it. You see, these machines are stain busters, not vacuum cleaners, so you need to avoid letting them get clogged with pet hair. I know that sounds odd, but I went through quite a few machines before I figured that out. It's one thing if you're just going to clean one area of your rug, but if you decide to clean an entire rug, always use your regular vacuum first to remove the hair, dust, and dander. There are 3 types of carpet cleaning machines: handheld, upright, and upright with hand tools. Whichever one you buy, make sure it's well rated for performance, suction, and not leaking. More expensive ones have better motors. These last longer and work harder, so you don't have to. This is one instance in which you really do get what you pay for. A desirable feature is for the head of the machine, where it contacts the surface that you're cleaning, to be made of clear plastic. And that goes for the heads of the attachments as well. When you use the machine, this helps you see the progress of the liquid being sucked up. That way, you know when you've gotten it all out of one area and can move on to the next. The first type look like little handheld vacuum cleaners. These are good on area rugs, couches, chairs, and large dog beds that won't go in the washer. Uprights look like vacuum cleaners. These tend to be more powerful than the handheld variety, but you lose the ability to clean furniture with them. That's why I prefer the upright type that has a hose and attachments. It's the best of both worlds, and they tend to be the better quality machines. That way, you're ready for whatever your dog dishes out, and wherever he dishes it. You can buy a decent one for what it would have cost you to rent one a few times, and that way, it's always there when you need it. Plus, since you own the machine, you have control over what you put into it. Which brings me to our second how-to for today, how to make your own carpet cleaner fluid. It's very similar to the gentle cleaner spray, and has the same benefits. Excellent cleaning, sanitizing, and deodorizing without the toxins of commercial cleaners. It contains white vinegar, Castile soap for breaking down the urine, and Dawn for thorough cleaning. For essential oils, use lavender for sanitizing and mint to throw off your Greyhound sniffer and discourage him from turning that spot into a public toilet. Fill the water compartment of your machine most of the way, and then add a 1/4 cup of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Dawn, 1 tablespoon of Castile soap, and a few drops each of lavender and peppermint essential oils. Prepare your machine according to the manufacturer's instructions. Get your paper towels out again and give that stain one more good blotting. Then start your machine. I find that hand tools do a more thorough job. It's easier to see what you're doing. Be sure to clean from the outside of the stain first, working your way toward the middle so you don't spread it and make it worse. Typically, the machine or the hand tool has a trigger that you press to release the fluid on your first pass over the stain. Let go of the trigger and the machine goes into vacuum mode. This is when you should be able to see the now dirty fluid being sucked up into the machine. Keep going over this first little area until no more fluid is coming up. Press the trigger and clean the spot again. Hopefully you'll see clean fluid coming up this time, but if not, you'll know that a third pass is going to be in order. Keep working. Be patient, succeeding in one small area at a time until you've worked your way to the center of the stain. Be sure to move the tool very slowly to draw as much fluid out of the rug as you can. I won't lie to you, this is hard work. In fact, this is the very thing that motivated me to create this video series for you. Cleaning up UTI puddles is the ultimate buzzkill of pet ownership. But with what you've learned this week, you're going to have a lot fewer moments like this. Anyway, once you've covered the entire stain, switch your cleaner to floor mode if you have the type that has both options, and go over that entire area of the rug. This makes the stained area look less obvious. At this point, I hate to say this, but you're going to have to give it the sniff test. You can also test blot it with a clean paper towel. If it still smells, or your paper towel comes out yellow or brown, clean the stain again. But I have good news for your back. This time, simply working back and forth will be fine. Again, draw as much liquid out of the rug as you can. It won't be completely dry to the touch, but you can put a fan on it. This step is especially important during humid weather or in poorly ventilated areas. You certainly don't want mildew setting into your rug after all that work. The same procedure that I've just outlined applies to furniture as well. Now, if you need to remove a stain without using a machine, you can use the same steps right up to where we broke out the machine. At that point, you'll need a scrub brush. On furniture, use a softer brush like a toothbrush, a sponge, rags, a bucket of clean water, and your cleaning spray. You can make the same cleaning spray I described earlier, but you want to add to it 1 teaspoon of Castile soap. Just like when I talked about using the machine, you want to work from the outside in and clean one small section very well at a time. Spray a small section lightly, scrub it lightly and briskly with the scrub brush to finish breaking up the mess, and wipe it up with a damp sponge, rinsing often. A clean, dry rag will provide the absorption you need to draw out the rest of the stain. That's right, more blotting. Yes, I know it's tedious, which is why I recommend the machine so strongly, even if you have to save your pennies for one or sell something out of your garage. You know, that's where one of these can really come in handy. So once you've reached the center of the stain, give it the sniff test and go over it again if needed. When you've finished, lightly clean the 3-foot radius surrounding the stain to take out any light splashing you may have missed. Number 6. Spray with Lysol or other disinfectant. Going over the cleaned area with Lysol spray is a quick step, but it does so much. It removes any bacteria you may have missed, it deodorizes, it discourages the growth of mildew or other things on the damp rug, and it helps make the spot less interesting to the dog. What if he messes in his bed? Well, I hope for your sake and your wallet that you've taken the precaution of using bedding that cleans up in the laundry. I cannot count the number of adorable dog beds I wasted money on which only lasted until the next illness. Here are pictures of what layers go onto Lily's bed. You might say it's too much trouble or that your dog would dig that up in a New York minute. I had those opinions too, until I had an elderly, somewhat incontinent greyhound. So here's a little secret sauce for you on making up your greyhound's bed for super easy cleanup. In fact, I was just about to do Lily's weekly bed change. So come on in and take a peek. If your greyhound has had a UTI accident on this setup, this is all you need to do to clean it up. Strip off everything that got messed on and place it into a bucket. Throw away the disposable pads. Fill the bucket with warm water and a shot of any cleaner, Lest oil, laundry detergent, Dawn dish soap, Woolite, whatever you've got. Let it soak while you put fresh coverings on the dog's bed. Rinse the soiled bedding under running water, in your sink, utility sink, tub, or even hose it down outside. Wring it out and spray with our DIY cleaner, or whatever spray cleaner you have, and then launder it on the heaviest setting you have. This is so much easier than cleaning a rug, which is one of the reasons I don't like my dog running around free range when I'm not home. I use a crate in which I put the bedding setup that I just showed you. But an alternative setup that I've seen is a dedicated room with a bare floor and lots of old quilts for the dog to craft a cozy nest for himself. If your greyhound has soiled a dog bed that's all one piece, you can follow the method I just outlined for cleaning soiled furniture, and you might consider running it through your washer if you think your machine can take it. It really depends on how big of a bed we're talking about and the capacity and strength of your washer. Whew, that was a ton of work, but by now, using the techniques you've learned this week, your greyhound should be on his way to improved health so you don't have so many awful times like this one. The next video is the last day of our ByeBye UTI 7-Day Bootcamp for Greyhounds and other dogs. We'll do a quick overview and talk about a couple more things to watch out for in order to keep your greyhound UTI free for life. For a text version of this series and its companion shopping guide, go to greyhoundhomecare.com, linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Greyhound Home Care channel.